What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, a lot of things have happening. Have happening. A lot of things are happening. Gamescom still going. Gamescom still going on. It's cool. Gamescon. Wow. Anyway, there's a lot of games coming out. Boom really likes the He-Man game. I looked at it. I was like, if you like He-Man, yeah, that's cool. It's a cool little beat 'em up. I'm glad there are studios out there still making games like that for all us unks and such. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the games because there's a lot of games. And that's good because we all know that PlayStation ain't got no games. So the only way that PlayStation is going to survive is with everybody else's games. That's kind of what's going on. If y'all didn't know, if PlayStation doesn't make games, they don't make money off of games because they don't have games, but they make money off of the third-party games because they get their 30%. See? So the more games that come out and they come out on PlayStation and they sell well, it's better for PlayStation. But, whatever. That's a whole nother story. But I want to talk about the ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X. Now, I saw a quick snippet of they were doing it was some new person, and then the I guess the Xbox guy for games, I don't know, and then another person, and then a person from Asus. So it was a Microsoft person, and then I think another Microsoft person, and then the host, something like that. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know none of these people, which is fine. But also, Jez Corden kind of not documented, but he commented on the changes they did with the Ally, the Xbox Ally versus the regular Ally before it, the generation before it, if you will, because the Xbox version is a next generation. It is a more powerful console than the previous. Even the little guy is more powerful because it's on a different chip. It's on the X2 Extreme. I don't know. It's a better chip. Anyway, but the X is the one because that has the super AI chips, the NPUs, neural process. I don't know. Anyway, so Jazz was like, besides the design is better because it got the grips. It feels good in the hand. Blah, 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 right? That's better, one. But the UI is crazy. It's nice. It's way, 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 way better. I forgot what he said, but he was reading it. It's like, okay. And if you know how he speaks, he never really overemphasizes or anything. And he was kind of hyped. He was kind of hyping it up. So I'm like, all right, cool. Those are just words. You'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever. That's Jazz. He's a Windows guy, blah, 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 right? But what I saw on the Gamescom presentation thing, she had the Ally in her hand. She was like, okay, so if you want to go from your Xbox to a desktop or some other storefront or whatever, she just pressed a button and said zoom, 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 and went like, I was like, yo, hold up, that's like mad, that's like faster than the console real quick. Hold up, maybe not, but still, I was like, oh, okay, this is like promising, and this is like the first iteration for us. I'm sure they've gone through many different versions, tweaking and stuff, but for a third-party OEM device and how it's moving so smoothly, the way I saw it, I was like, that's what the handheld should look like. That's what the console should look like. If it's all ubiquitous across all devices, then there's no problems because it'll basically be the same thing except just different power sets, like the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. Same consoles, same family of consoles, but different variations. So one has to scale down this, that, and the third for it to run, and X can do better. And it's the same thing. So it is more of a PC approach when it comes to the different versions of the games, but it's still a console because it's not a PC. It's not a PC experience. But the PC experience still exists on the device itself. You have the ability, if you wish, you can go in and make it a PC. Do this, press this button, say boot into Windows or whatever. Or you could just keep it console. 100%. That is the best of both. I want every computer to be like that. I want every laptop. I want every phone. I want every desktop. I want every console. Everything needs to be like that because I don't have to buy a console and a PC. I could buy the Xbox. Let's call it the Xbox 5? OG Xbox 360 One Series 5. The Xbox 5. The Xbox V. Series V? I don't know what they're going to call this thing. They should just call it Magnus. just call it Magnus. What would be fine. If you call it the Xbox Magnus, I'll be fine. The Xbox Aurelius Mag. Phil Spencer, first was name, last was kind. I don't know, but that gave me hope. I saw like how quick and snappy it was. I was like, okay. All right, so now what I believe that they're doing, and I mentioned this in other videos, is that they're creating a new, I don't want to call it a layer. I think it's not even a fork. It's a changing of what Windows is. Windows used to be Windows PC. I mean, I'm pretty sure they will have an enterprise Windows client where it's just like, yeah, there's no game stuff on this one. This is just, Office and all the stuff for, business, right? But like home stuff, like Windows Home will turn into Xbox, Windows, Xbox. I don't know. So that it's not, I mean, it still does the things that the Windows Home version would do as far as for the casuals, but it's also an Xbox. I'd be fine with that. I don't care. You could rename it. You could take home and slap it down into the internet, depths of the internet, and then replace it with a nice little Xbox so that every casual in the world who gets a computer has an Xbox, and include a month of free Game Pass with every computer. Come on, son. You know how many, do you know how many subs they would get just for that? All they have to do is say, yeah, let's just, I mean, they don't have to do a month. I mean, they usually do 2 weeks if they want to be cheap. But if they want to be real, do a month, every laptop, every freaking desktop. I was going to say phones, but phones is Android, so they can't really do that. They don't have a Windows phone anymore. Tablets, if it has Windows on it. All of those devices are Xboxes. So every one of those sold can be counted as Xboxes if they want. That's exactly what Sony would do. If Sony had the same thing happening, they'd be like, but it can be an Xbox, so we count it as a console. It's a portal. It plays PlayStation games, so we count it as a console. See how that works? I'm saying if they wanted to, I don't think Xbox will do it, but if they wanted to bring back that stupid metric number of console units. It wouldn't be consoles, it would be devices, because a tablet isn't a console. I mean, Sony thinks it is, but whatever. Just because you slap two halves of a DualSense on a tablet, don't make it a console. I'm just saying. But since Sony says it's a console, then guess what? Xbox, it's a console. So the Windows tablet, Surface Pro, all those things. And then, I mean, that's just Microsoft hardware. Then you got Dell, you got Asus, you got MSI, you got everybody and their mama making computers. And what OS do they usually use? OS. Guess what that's going to be now? Xbox. All these Xboxes. So the play wasn't to just disrupt the industry as far as competition with Sony and PlayStation. It was to, for lack of a better term, infect the PC ecosystem with an Xbox, with that green fluid. Pause. I'm just saying, I didn't think this far ahead. I was just like, oh, they're just trying to, what, I don't know. It seems yeah, it makes sense to sell more games and make more money, but it's more than that. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. It's more than that. They're making Windows Xbox. So everything that's Windows is Xbox, and So now everything's an Xbox. A lot of you go to the grocery store and you know the computer that you go beep boop boop and you scan on, that's an Xbox. It's Windows. It runs Windows. All that stuff runs Windows. The ATM, all that stuff, I believe. I don't know what version of Windows it runs, but most of that stuff runs Windows. Now, I'm not saying obviously it's not going to be Xbox on that stuff, but I was not anticipating. I didn't, like I said, I didn't think this far ahead to be like, oh wait, if they do like Steam Big Picture mode, but then it's like kind of part of what Windows is going forward. And it's still not a monopoly. This the beauty of this plan is that it's still not a monopoly because they went through that already. They're not a monopoly. It's an open ecosystem on the Windows side. It's open. Even on the Xbox UI, it's still open because you can have all the stores and all that stuff. And that's the whole thing about monopoly. On PlayStation, on the PlayStation 5, it's a monopoly. There's no other stores on the PlayStation 5. You can't go and buy some Steam games on the PlayStation or, well, I mean, that's, you can't do that. And that's changing. Microsoft is changing it, which is good. Which makes me want to buy one even more. Now, price-wise, I don't know. $900 for the X. I'm not gonna get that. That's too much. That's too much. We'll see what happens as far as the different third-party OEMs. See if there's some other offerings. See if Microsoft decides to jump in to make their own Surface version or something. But I think I better start saving my nickels. Better start saving my cans and bottles right now, because yeah, not everybody gets money for recycling. I understand. They're not in Florida. It doesn't do that. In New York, you used to get some money. You know what I'm saying? You could have a little business of collecting. Anyway, yeah. Video games is so weird. I knew it was gonna be weird, and it's super extra weird, especially with Sony. How Sony's acting. Sony has fallen so far, so fast, that the donkey unicorns and their ponies don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. Dreamcast guy is he's a turncoat. I don't know what he is now. Well, he's a grifter, so he's gonna just say whatever. He probably goes on Google's like, what's the popular, hi guys, it's Dreamcast guy. What is the popular topic for video games? And he looks at Google, and then he does a video about it. Or he just says Xbox is dead. But now I want to know how many videos he's going to do about PlayStation is dead. PlayStation is dead. I need to watch Colin Moriarty too, because I'm pretty sure he's not in good spirits right now, because stuff's not happening the way that the ponies and the donkey unicorns want it to happen. Nope. It's like Hamilton. Hamilton changed the game. I forgot the lyrics. But Xbox changed the game. Microsoft changed the game. They say, you know what? Y'all, I don't know. We trying to make money. Y'all trying to look pretty. And so you could be broke and look pretty, but we gonna be mid, but have that big stacks. That's what we gonna do, because we Microsoft, we bought the bank. And so they're doing what they need to do in order to not have to do the things that Sony's doing. That makes sense. I mean, it's like they're doing what they need to do, right? And Sony's following suit, but they're following suit in a following suit, and they're not leading. They're not trailblazing. They're not showing us the future. They're following the leaders. That's Sony. Sony's following Microsoft. We've said this for years. All they do is copy. Sony copies. That's what they do. For decades, they have been copying. And once again, they're copying. Now, with Hiroki Totoki and team in place, he was a former CFO, the money man. Now he's the CEO. Still the money man. He still got that money man mentality. He just got the power to zag, zig, zoop, zoop. So now I'm wondering, like, the direction of, like, there is a potential for Sony to get even bigger and be even more successful and make even more money with this new direction. But the donkey unicorns and the ponies are going to hate it. But the only thing that's going to stop them are going to be the quality of their games. I don't know if they have the ability to create the quality that they were creating within a reasonable time frame. I don't think they can go and make a banger in 3 years. I don't think they can do it. I don't know many studios that can do it, but there needs to be something. I mean, AI is like one of the solutions, not for everything, but for some things to speed up the process. I know people hate to hear that, but it's kind of the reality. But I mean, there's smart people there. There's smart people everywhere. And I'm not sure how much Sony is invested in AI for video games, as opposed to like Microsoft is all in AI. They got AI Copilot, for the compute. They got NPUs popping up. They're doing everything. You know what I'm saying? And so that's good because they have like, if they're all in on AI, then it doesn't mean that they're going to rely on it all the way, but it means that they have more options when it comes to utilizing the AI as tools and as tool sets in certain areas. And you don't have to do AI everything. No, obviously that's not how it works. But it's like, you know, I always go back to like the car manufacturing model. Back in the day, you had dudes painting cars. They were riveting, you know, all the pieces together, right? Ain't no humans doing that no more. It's all robots. Like, oh, you sitting there with your coffee, like, hey, what's up, Jeffrey? What's up, Mark? They're sitting with their feet up, and then they're watching the arms just do their ballet, painting and sparking. It's safer for robots to do that stuff because poisonous fumes of gas and metal and paint, bad for lungs, yes. Is it cheaper? Probably in the long run, but I'm pretty sure it costs a bunch of money to set all that stuff up. So, you know, but it's technology. And now you have, you know, room for those workers that would, you know, otherwise be killing themselves with all those harsh chemicals, do something safer or something that they would more enjoy. And people like, oh, losing jobs. And it's like, well, if you're going to be, you know, in a super dangerous job, go do something better. Do something more healthy. Do something that you'll enjoy more better. Quality of life is very important. Just having a job, you know, you're going to be there forever and ever and you don't like it, then what's the point? Do something what you like. Anyway, tangent, back to video games. So the AI stuff, I know that Sony does some AI stuff with their cameras, as far as I don't know if it's resolution or I forgot what it was, but I'd read something about it or saw something about it a while ago. Something with their image sensors and stuff. So I mean, they do have that stuff, and that's fine. But I think Microsoft definitely put more money into it, obviously, and they have a greater stake in it. So I think that's one. I think AI NPs, the NPUs, I think that is going to be one of the more, if they are utilized properly, I think it's going to be one of the more interesting innovations coming to the next generations of devices. Because, you know, they already use AI for upscaling and stuff, but now, like I said, like I think I said in the last video, where they can maybe do some animations and you know, facial animations, stuff like that, lip syncing. They can change, you know, when they do the dubs for different languages, you know, automatic AI lip syncing. So I mean, it may be janky at first, but they can, you know, refine it and stuff, so they don't have to have someone trying to animate that stuff. Or I mean, they do like sound envelopes and stuff, but it never comes out right. So AI could help in that respect. But you know, anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but yeah, I am excited about all the advances that are coming out. We got new hardware coming out, nice new games. Next year is gonna be crazy. Xbox, I mean, the year's not even over. We still got more games coming. Ninja Gaiden 4, but all these games. Black Ops 7 looks kind of nice. I ain't gonna lie. Look, next year's gonna be the good because Fable's my game of the year. Okay, so all right, I'm not even going. Next year is next year. We got plenty of time to talk about that. But this year, I said this in the last video and the video before probably. Expedition 33. I told y'all I had a 5-hour fight. That's because I was ill prepared. That is the best game this year. Period. I don't care. You can say game of the year. You can say whatever. It is the best game this year. Now, as someone who appreciated and liked old school JRPGs like Phantasy Star and all that stuff, it tickles that a little bit. But I just realized I'm a moron. So I just realized how the Lumina system works. I mean, I understand you put the Lumina points in the characters, and then you buy the Luminas, and then there's like a passive power thing. And I realized, I was like, okay, I understand that, but I was looking at it, I was like, wait a second. And I was looking at each character, and like they all have the same, they all have the same lumen. You just got to put the points in. I was like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Because there's so many different systems in that game, and each character has their own kind of mini system. Like what's her name? Ciel has the cards. Verso has the I guess the S ranks, the ranking system. What's her name? Luna has what does she have? The elements. And Mael, what does she have? She's just strong. She's a paintress, so whatever. Spoilers, but not spoilers. She's a paintress. She's not the paintress. Anyway, that's part of the story, and I haven't even finished the story yet because there's still one dude I still have to fight that I've seen little clips of. I was like, okay. And I'm like level 60. I'm in the 60s with my characters, and my weapons are 20. I think my highest weapon is like 20, 26, 27, in the 20s. And so I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking at, okay, wait. So if I have this, I had the one, but I took it off because I was like, I don't have the other corresponding Lumias and pick those and stuff to make that jump off. Because like I think when you have the one, your critical is 108% or something, so you always do critical damage. But I was like, and I can pretty much almost always parry. That's another thing about that Expedition thing. Expedition 33 made me a better gamer. I'm like, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, because I was sucking at parrying. I was like, I wasn't getting any parries. At first I was dodging because dodging is easier. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to dodge. I'm just going to parry everything. And so I started doing it. I started seeing the cues. Certain enemies gives you certain cues. Some is like a flash of, not light, but it like distorts the thing before it's like usually projectile stuff. That happens. And then you got to look at the animation of the characters when they're like, and then it goes bam. Also, they said, some videos saying like, if you look at this, there's a zoom on the screen. So when it zooms, I think it zooms in and then it zooms out a little bit. And when it reaches the peak of that zoom animation, that's when it's gonna pop off. I was like, okay, that works. It works. All three of those work in certain situations. So you can't use just one all the time. I tend to use there's audio cues also, if you pay attention. But there's audio cues, visual cues from the actual boss monsters themselves, and the animation as more of a easier way to gauge like the speed, because there's different tempos and stuff. Listen, and that's just parry. I just talked a minute or whatever about parrying. Look, man, that's a game. I'm gonna keep talking. Every video I'm gonna talk about that game is crazy. That's a game. That might be the game of the generation. Even though like I don't read for it, it's like, oh, there's rough edges and this and that, and it's like, and I see those. I see like little animation glitches here and there and stuff. And there was this one part where Luna was sitting there and like she was in idle animation and she put her hands on her hips, and I was at a certain angle and her arm was all messed up. I was like, damn. Like, you okay? But like Luna, whatever her name is, I use her as the one that I run around the map in, because she, like, when you have her run, she floats, so she's just like gliding. So I was like, I like that smoothness. So I give the Asian chick her due. And now she's part of my main party of 3, but she never gets to fight because I have the first strike. I think it's first strike on both Monaco and Mael. And then I have, for both of them, they go again. They have double turns. Plus, they have an extra strike on each attack. And I'm like, and so they go like twice each, and then the enemy goes, and then they'll go again. So she goes like once. I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. But I tried to build her every one of them. Well, I think what's his name? Verso has a crazy. I have to start buffing him up. I gotta go and look and see what Lumina's and see what Pictos I need to put on him. But I gotta get some more of those painter power, or whatever it's called, where you can exceed 9,999 damage. And I have that on Mael, and I have that on Monaco, and that's why. I guess that's why they're front runners. They're like bam, bam. They messing everybody up. But anyway, I'm sorry, rambling about this game. It's a good game. If y'all don't know, play it. I don't care if you play it on PlayStation. I don't care if you play it on the Xbox. I don't care if you play it on PC. You can't play it on a Wii. I don't think it's a Wii. A Wii? Wow. I would say it was Freudian slip, but it's not Freudian. It's just a mental slip. I don't care if you play it on. It's not on Switch. I don't think it's on Switch. Is it on Switch? I don't think so. Anyway, I appreciate. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all the things that are happening in the industry, all these crazy nice games, blah, 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 came from the handheld. And if y'all didn't watch the video, go watch the video about the little UI, how it's switching real quick. That right there made me change my mind about the actual handheld. The only obstacle right now for me is the price. But I want to see what the difference in performance is as far as the UI goes with the $549 version and the $899 version. Because $899 is just too much. If it was $799, I would be like, I would bite the bullet and I would probably get it. But $899 is just past that line. I'm like, nah, I can't do that, B. So, I don't know. But anyway, I talk to y'all next one. Till the way.